So congratulations on winning the championship.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I was sorry, it felt like
What was the play that you felt, took you guys over the finish line?
Man, one where we won. But I appreciate y'all. Thanks for doing this.
So first question, are the characters going to be talking?
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if you were in the panel, but yeah, we showed a short clip. Yeah, full dialogue, like a traditional show.
Yeah. And was it like a long process, like casting the right voice compared to like the end of the short?
I mean, honestly, all of that was, man, with the short film, we had a lot of backstory already in there. Like, we knew they were from Chicago. That's why the brownstone looked like how it did. And we knew kind of what their careers were, too, because Angela was a hair vlogger at the time. The dad was a producer. We didn't really get too deep into that. But to develop a full-on TV show, you got to come up with personalities and, needs and wants and kind of things that they're good at, things that they're bad at, etc. So, yeah, that definitely was a bit of a challenge. Just so you have this foundation that you kind of already established, and now you're trying to build around that. And for us, like, the short in the book has done really well. Like, we have a pretty decent sized fan base, so we wanted to make sure that we were serving the people that fell in love with the book and the short film, but also creating something that a brand new audience that never saw that would be able to take from too. So getting all the voice actors for this was great. Issa was already in the short film, so it was great having her come back as the mom. And then Kid Cudi, obviously such a great musician, and he's also a young father, so he made a ton of sense for us, and also has a great voice. And finding Brooke Monroe Conway to play Zuri was like such a search, because obviously you could have an adult play a kid, or you could have a kid play a kid, and we felt like it was really important to have a kid play that role. And such a great collaboration from all our team members on just figuring out who made the most sense. And it was very democratic in that way. We would say, I kind of like her, and the most people oftentimes would win.
Where in the process, did the idea for the series, like it being a series with the book and then the short, like, where was that?
Honestly, we did a Kickstarter back in 2017 for this, and when we saw kind of how quick it blew up, obviously I think the first natural question you think is like, oh, damn, okay, people seem to dig this. Like, what else could this be? And thinking about a movie, it kind of didn't feel like there were just enough stakes for a movie to justify that. But pretty early on, we were thinking about, like, maybe a TV show could make sense. And as we got through the process of animating it and building it out and seeing that it really was going to end up being really good, we ended up pitching this maybe like a month before the Oscars. So trying to take advantage of that momentum, but also like just wanting to let people know that this is something we were into. And thankfully Max stepped up and they wanted to help move forward. So really, really excited to have them as partners.
So in the short, you had these fantasy sequences. Is there going to be a way that you're telling these stories as well?
Definitely. Fantasy sequences were like a big part of Hair Love, and so we wanted to make sure that stayed consistent throughout the TV series Young Love. So we have some amazing fantasy sequences that I'm really excited for the fans to get to see. We wanted to put in a lot more, but the ones we have they make more sense. It's a lot more impactful. So definitely gonna tug on the heartstrings.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Oscars, and I'm sure the love that you received was quite grand. And I'm wondering if you could share one of your favorite fan reactions, because I've seen firsthand how kids see themselves. Like, I witnessed a moment of that, and I'm curious to see what your favorite fan moment reaction was.
It's just really all of them, man. Like, so because we have a short that's on YouTube for free, and we have the book, a lot of times it ends up getting played in school. So like they'll read the book and then they'll show the short film, which is really great. But every time you see a kid dress up as him, as like a lot of schools have like dress as your favorite book character day. So you have kids wearing the cape like Zuri and kind of having the big afro. I get tagged in that stuff pretty much every day. Just like different people either hey, I want to show you that I'm reading the book to my daughter, or I'm my kid dressed up like this. So that's probably been the best part. I can't say one in particular story, but just every time you see it, it's just like, wow, like I had no idea this had this reach. And it's not just Black families, all kinds of families have shown love and kind of are showcasing that, because doing the hair is a universal thing, and making sure that you're trying to show love to your kid by doing something you don't know how to do and figuring it out. It's the best form of love.
As someone who's had that exact difficulty with my mixed family, do you have any instructions in Young Love on how to do certain hairstyles?
Season 2.
Yeah, no, not the season. Like, obviously, because the short was called Hair Love, we wanted to make sure that people knew that the show would be more than just all being about, every episode being about a different hairstyle. But you know, the great thing, even with the short film, like there are all these different YouTube tutorials on how to do, you know, Zuri's hair from that, and we have so many just amazing range of different hairstyles from like pretty much each character has a couple of different looks that they can showcase. So we're hoping that people discover that, and if enough people ask for it, we'll be open to it.
Yeah.
What are the runtimes on the episodes? Like,
they vary.
Yeah, it's like 14 to 22.
Yeah,
or 26 might be the
some are shorter, some are a little longer than 22.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's like a bigger cast to like flesh out like a longer story versus like the 7-minute original.
Yeah, it just depends. You know, like just some stories, like it felt like you needed a little bit more time, and other ones just felt like it was a little bit more impactful keeping it short. So yeah, but we got 12.
Yeah, the average is like 20, 23, 22. Like the majority of them.
When you were creating the short, how in-depth were you thinking the backgrounds of these characters, or did that not come until you guys started developing the series?
No, we definitely had thought about the backgrounds. Not as deep, obviously, because there wasn't dialogue, but we knew like that Zuri was a kid that had a lot of energy, and she really could just like, you know, those kids that you say have been here before. She's very much that. You know, Steven, we knew that he was the type of person that didn't really like conflict, but was somebody who would figure it out eventually, right? And Angela, obviously she didn't have a huge presence in the short film, but the fact that she's already instilled so much love in her daughter, all that was already there. And for us, like any show, you got to like get the Bible out, you got to figure out their backstory. So there was a little bit, which was great, but we definitely had to go a way deeper dive, you know, especially with a TV show. It's all about conflict and figuring out like how are you going to have these characters interacting with each other, but not just conflict though, also just like love and how are they going to support each other too.
Right. Yeah, at a certain point, the characters start to create the story like themselves. They start to develop, you know, and so you'll come to a point and you will say, hey, Angela wouldn't act like this, you know, she would do it like this, you know. But it does take time to build that library of personalities.
And with that, is the talent helping direct that in terms of creating that character, saying that they wouldn't do that?
I mean, not necessarily. I'm not sure how it is on most shows, but you know, for us, like we casted people that we felt like already naturally fit into these kind of archetypes. Like obviously Loretta Devine, like you hear her voice, you kind of know all the roles that she's played, and so we try to cast to type for the most part, but you will be surprised though, there are some opportunities that we're giving our actors to kind of go against type too. So
yeah, I would say Tamar was one who kind of just, we didn't think about it this way, but she really brings something to the character, you know. Yeah. I mean, we thought about it, but she brings an extra thing to it, you know. So yeah.
When you first started this, did you ever imagine like this is gonna be an ongoing, like a full season?
Back when it was a short?
Yeah.
No, man. I mean, you know, I never would have thought it would have went from a short to a book to a TV series. Like, I mean, I don't know if that's ever happened before. And also coming from a Kickstarter, you know, it's been just a crazy journey, and we just been open to just whatever the universe is putting out there, and you know, to have the opportunity to keep telling the story of these characters has been really amazing.
Yep.